Hey guys, my name is Nick, and today let's break this scene down. So without further ado, let's start. I should emphasize from the beginning that this project have done at least 3 months ago, so some textures cannot upload. I tried in many ways, but no worries, because this lesson is gonna be so fascinating and so useful. Just don't consider this as a primary project. I have lost textures, right? And how I textured that wall, because might be useful and it is interesting to break down this texture in Redshift. Let me show you guys Node Editor. I'm gonna open this texture, material manager. Let me open. I have no idea what's going on with Cinema4D now, but we're getting there. So the most interesting part here is that I randomized transform position by using OSL node hexstyle coordinates that I emphasized in the previous lesson. And if you didn't check this lesson out, I highly recommend watching this. I will provide the link in the description. I will leave it, so guys, check this out if you're interested. So no worries about these windows. I have no idea what's going on right here. This OSL code I actually grabbed from GitHub page. I just typed Redshift GitHub OSL. So silly, but it worked. That Maxon put together useful stuff that you can copy and paste into your project. So imagine this as pre-built presets outside of Cinema4D. However, in Cinema4D, we do have manager that contain a lot of useful stuff as textures, scenes, etc. But let me focus on the thing that I want to emphasize. Here's the hex style coordinates node. You can see how to wire this node with. It actually wires together with textures. So you should have UV offset connected to texture offset directly. And you'll get something this. So you can randomize and do kind of versatile stuff with your textures, so it will not look like cliche. A lot of nodes, and as an example, you can see the connection between OSL node and material textures and things like that. So there's an example in Cinema4D and Houdini that used Redshift as primary render. Well, let me go back to my scene and show you guys. I have this plastered wall texture that I grabbed from this side. I just will copy paste here in Microsoft Edge. Polyheaven, I believe. I believe this is a polyheaven. Yes. I grabbed this and I got second phone call, guys. As I record this little breakdown, I will open Node Editor and show you guys how hexstyle node works. This is core settings that you can adjust. Grid repetitions. The less grid repetition you have, the larger texture is gonna be. Let me actually add color correct node in order to show you guys contrast visuals. So we're dealing with this plaster wall texture. I reduced grid repetition and got larger scale. It is not noticeable, but texture, yes. We see more tiles, and it is not like triplanar node. It is more randomized, has imperfection, as it is in real world, right? In real world, we don't have a perfect shape, we don't have perfect texture, so it is significant. So with that being said, this node will significantly change your design. Blend amount means that the more blend you will increase, the more blur it's gonna be on the boundaries. So tiles, it's not gonna that visible. Let me show in practice. If I reduce this completely, we don't see tiles because this node has created for this, right? But let me decrease the amount of grid and make more contrast in color correct node. If you see this result in the node editor, just hold Ctrl-Shift-A, you're gonna fix this issue. The problem is that we don't see any parameters that lies on the thing. We selected multiple nodes in Redshift, so we can either drag on empty space or hit Ctrl-Shift-A. Ctrl-Shift-A will work on 100%. Oh, actually, while speaking, I got the render view more clearer than it was before, and we got these tiles. Let's increase this blend amount for a second and make bucket render over here. You see, we don't see the tile. So pay close attention to blend amount. I usually don't touch this blend curve, but you can play with this around and see if it works. Now let's dive into noise. Noise, as it sounds, will give you noise, but not literally. It will give you noise at the boundaries. So tiles is gonna be not that straight, but kind of like this. Let's increase noise weight instead and see what's going on. I will turn off blending completely in order to see any changes. So guys, as you remember, when we turn off blend amount without noise, it was kind of strict boundaries. We could see pattern. Now it is hard to define. Of course, we can see now, you can see this from this result, from triangle shape, we got this. So it not only blurs, it blurs the tile, but instead of this kind of shape, we got more like this. Random. I love this. I played with these buttons around, and to get imperfection texture on the surface, I came up with these settings over here. When I increase random scale up to, actually I can increase up to 2, we don't see any changes. Like pattern is still there. Let me show you. This straight line, this straight line, this straight line, you got this. But if I decrease amount up to 0.1, we can see that texture blends together, right? Let's focus on these drawings over here that I drew and increase blend amount. Voila! We got nice plaster wall texture. The point is that we can not only use this node as triplanar, but randomize in rotation, noise, and blend together, which works like blur. And this is the beauty thing about this node. I got 2 calls. Oh my god. So you can see how much effort I put in this, even in the small details like frames, door frames. This is ridiculous. So actually get rid of this view and get a little bit closer. Don't ask me why I get this red material. When I isolate, I have no idea, but it gives us this result. So red is white and black is black. And it's gonna be our roughness channel frame even more imperfect. Oh my god, I got third call. Let me show you guys. Let me continue. So this is gonna be my last phone session, as I can say like this. Nice. Let me show the settings. Turbulent. The type is turbulence. You can see this is kind of contrasted noise texture. I combined these two textures together, selected blend mode as multiply. If you're familiar with Photoshop or After Effects blending mode, imagine screen mode, that as for me, I use screen mode a lot. Multiply mode, it is opposite. And if I say get rid of white, I literally mean completely bump map. I changed range. I believe I got rid of a lot of white information in order to not mess around. And then I connected to bump map and blend together round corners with bump map. Round corners is gonna work like bevel. If you're familiar with the simple deform that you can find here, actually bend all the way down, bevel, what you should know, these round corners work the same as bevel. These two buttons define just simple thing, radius effect on your overall object. What I mean by that, if your object 200 centimeters by 200 centimeters, you need one value. If you have bigger scene and bigger object, this 2 centimeter radius is not going to work for your second object. So you need to adjust. And if it doesn't work, as I said, adjust this. Maybe duplicate material and do your thing. I did a mistake, metal rust. I'm gonna add this once again, grab this frame texture and reference. I'm gonna select this reference as metal rusted material. Get a little bit closer to our frames. I have no idea why is it so sluggish. Come on, let me get a little bit closer. Here we are. We backed in to our frames. Finally, we backed in. Finally, we backed in. Finally, so we can see the difference. How Material Blender works. It gives us this imperfection, and I know that maximum noise is supposed to be not that contrasty, so I will make it a little bit nicer as my, once again, denoising off. In order to combine them, I have this curvature, and let me break this down. So generally speaking, we got, it's kind of broken if I make it a little bit less than 33, because I will just get rid of maximum noise for now. So white, it is our metal rusted. Black texture information is gonna be just black. And that's what I'm saying, guys. It is not explicit scene, but let me add ramp. So simple. Good tip to keep in mind: if you hold your left button and drag all the way to this wire, it will automatically connect and blend together. So let me just adjust this quickly. Of course, we could use, and I used, maximum noise, but something went wrong. So that's gonna be our frame texture, just a little bit wonky and messy, but you got an idea. The most important part here is not to look at the final result, which is, of course, in this distance looks ridiculous, but keep in mind that you can blend together two textures using color layer, then blend them with change range to connect to roughness and get this nice roughness randomized look. And randomized look you got from Hextile coordinates that I love. In the last tip, I want to show you guys a shortcut that I assigned on the mouse. I will go to the next scene to show you guys this tip. So let me just distribute two cubes and add a plane. Scale this up to 1000%. The thing is, I can always go back. To show this explicitly, I will rotate this several times. And guys, look at this. It's gonna work. Something went wrong. So I go back to the latest view. Of course, we can go to view and utilize these two buttons, undo view and redo view. Already can see that I assigned two shortcuts, two custom shortcuts. And how you can do this, you go to command manager, undo view, and I hit here and assign. If you misclicked, no worries, just hit escape and you're gonna delete. Test this out by hitting execute button. Here we go. If I hit execute button, I will use this. I will execute. So second thing, and another good tip that I want to show you guys in this lesson is gauges. I assigned shortcut Shift X to look as an object. Another good tip though, if you have hard time defining what shortcut does, you can hit Shift X and define it here. Selected object as camera. I assign this and I will highly recommend using this. Here's why. You can add area light, and instead of adjusting like this, or as many artists do, they add target tag, add a lot of null objects, connect them all together and rotate this, revolve this around, right? It is also convenient, but take a look at this. I hit Shift X and I use this area light as camera. Isn't that beautiful? I will show you guys more precisely. I'm gonna add several materials. I have no idea why it doesn't work in this view, but you can see the idea. I found this more quicker to adjust light sources like this. You see? This is so simple. I'm gonna add 3-point light to make this 3-point light. 3-point light is gonna be like this. Let's say key light, heel light, fill light, rim light. I did this just in a few seconds. And if you like this video, give me a favor, hit this like button, subscribe. And if you wonder what my personal projects look like, go ahead, go on Instagram, take a look, inspire. With that being said, see you in the next videos.